Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program may contain adult content and is intended for mature audiences only.
Radioactive is sponsored by CrookedRiverRadio.com. Crooked River Radio is an internet radio station that is live 24/7 playing rock and adult contemporary top 40 hits from the 60s through the 90s. You can find us on Live 365, Simple Radio, Roku, Radio Garden, and even Alexa, as well as our website. Come on and join us on the Crooked River.
The story you are about to see is true. However, the names were changed to protect the imbeciles.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Welcome to Radioactive. Join us as we look at technology and life in the world around us, and have a little fun with it too. I'm Pat Morrow, and
This is John Brown.
I'm Erik Nannarone.
I'm Flora Morrow.
And
I'm Dale Miracle, and this is Radioactive.
all I gotta do now is quit fucking around with the camera. We'll be alright.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing.
Whoop. Now I can say it. All I gotta do now is quit screwing around with the camera. We'll be fine. Evening, everybody. What's happening? I was so involved in screwing around with the camera, I forgot to turn the other stuff on.
Yep.
Yeah, that's typical
Way
for
to go, Pat.
typical me.
We're going to just have to fire him.
Yeah, fire the board operator.
Fire the board operator.
You're always picking on the poor board operator.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, well.
I see two other ladies in here. Get a load of that. Evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Evening, Justine.
Hello.
Oh, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
Grumpy. Hey.
What?
I'm grumpy.
Oh.
Tell us something we didn't know.
Thank you, Erik. I was going to say, when is it?
Erik, I have to say something.
What?
Every time you're adjusting yourself in your chair, I'm seeing your feet, like, just imagining your feet going like you're running in place. I don't know why.
Okay, that's interesting.
You know how you get stuck on a couch and you're trying to get up?
Hey, Erik.
Yes.
You keep using language like that, and you're going to find yourself out of a job.
Okay, right.
Erik.
I'd like to see the day.
I was going to say, Erik knows his worth.
The peanut butter box is here.
That's more like it.
Should we have that special guest come in or no?
What special guy? Oh, yeah, you can if you want.
All right.
Let me think about it.
I'm a thinking, and my head hurts.
Yeah, mine does all the time, so.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
I was going to say, is that from dealing with Pat all the time? But that was just a low-hanging fruit.
Erik, would that be a given? Oh, my.
All right, let's just pick on Pat some more.
Yeah. Well, hey,
I know I got it coming.
you pick.
I'll just sit back and wait.
You pick on us enough, so.
Who, me? Pick on you?
Can somebody bring Puppy down?
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Oh, that's a new one.
I've had that.
We haven't used it.
Yeah, not recently, no.
I don't think since I've been on the show. And that's like 2 years.
Well, I've used that here and there. I got a lot of stuff that I don't use. Like this one.
We interrupt this program to annoy you and make things generally irritating.
I do remember that one.
I like that one. That's probably one of my favorite ones. Besides...
The peanut butter box is here.
And... I love that thing.
I'm surprised you haven't played the other one. I won't say which one, but
Boobies.
That one?
yes.
I love boobies.
We got them all out of the way. Let's see what else is happening. Don't everybody all talk at once here.
Just another fun week, you know.
Yeah, actually, that does bring up a couple of things I'd like to talk about for a minute.
Awesome.
I want to. I had a chance yesterday, for the first time since I've opened this station, to actually sit down and look and see what we were generating as far as views. And to be honest about it, I'm quite impressed. In 3 shows, Erik's new show has got 169 views. In 2 shows, this one has had 65, and the World According to Elmer's had over 70. If you add these up and project them, we're shooting over 500 people a month. We're actually getting over 500 people on downloads and viewers a month. So that ain't the thing of it. The reason I wanted to do the spreadsheet like I did was to actually back up the data. I knew we were doing all right, but I wanted to back it up. Well, that pretty much backed it up, and I'm pretty impressed. I thank everybody for listening. Even if you're just here for 5 or 10 minutes, it does count, and it means a lot to us that you're here. Will we continue? Yeah, we're going to continue. All right. I want to get this looking better. I want us to be a great internet show, no matter how many people's listening. Oh, you got to admit, we do have our fun here. It's hard to top a show like last week, and with Michael Gersh, which we thank him for coming in last week again. There's going to be hopefully some guests in the not too distant future. I've got a couple of ideas that I'm running around in my head, and even with Mr. Canyon coming back and that, it's always fun to be here. But it's even the Elmer show. That last week we had a guest in there. The guy was one of my club members. Very, very educated man, and he did a number here. You're gonna have to take her around to Grandma's.
Oh, I thought.
Probably be easier that way.
Oh.
And we do have a new member of our family. As you can see on Flora's screen there. Let me change the zoom thing here. No, I can't.
Huh?
I can't do that. That is our new little princess.
Can you see her?
Yeah, we can see her. She looks cool.
Yep.
Hi, everybody.
That's our new little Shih Tzu puppy.
I am princess. I rule the roost.
And does she ever? But yeah, it's been going on here. We're just trying to keep things going. And I thought Mr. Dale would be in here tonight, but I don't see him yet.
But I would also like to remind people, I mean, not like it's relevant because they're listening now, but we are also on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Just to name a few, but those are also the biggest sites for podcasting. So if you like what we do and you want to tell a friend, please feel free and let them know that we are on those most popular platforms.
We also are on we're on Twitch. Now, a lot of people don't understand what Twitch is. Let me give you a quick synopsis of it. Twitch is another video place that we feed to. the nice part about it is we post links to our Twitch thing all the time. The nice part about that is you don't have to have an account to view it. You just click on the link and it'll take you right to the viewer and right to the show. So if you don't, or if you're not into getting accounts like that, that's the thing you want to do. And it, we use Twitch because it's probably one of the better formatted video places that we use. It's easy for us to upload to. We're uploading it to it right now. And on top of that, you just click on a link and it goes right to the shows. If you
and I think also, just piggybacking off that, people don't realize Twitch is it's more known for video game streaming. So that's what most people have accounts for. But it is also used for podcasting. And so
there are several podcasts on it. Evening, Dale, if you're there yet. No, you're connecting to the audio.
Oh, sounds like he's there. Hi, Dale.
Hi.
What's up? Welcome.
Hello.
You parked?
No, I've got another 25 minutes or so.
Oh, that's cool. You on your way home, or you decided that yet?
No, I deliver tomorrow morning.
Where you deliver to?
To the coffee.
Oh, so you'll be home shortly after that, then, huh?
In the morning, or morning, afternoon.
Yeah, somewhere tomorrow. Be good to have you.
I keep telling you, he's not going to let you know when he's home.
Yeah, I might.
He knows you're making up that honey-do list for him.
I might plan things. Who, me?
Yeah.
Plan things? I never.
Quickly back to the Twitch thing. So if you go to twitch.tv and then search Crooked River Radio, you will find the latest episodes of all the podcasts that we do on Crooked River. So you'll find the Nanosecond, you'll find Radioactive, Four Guys on Sports, or I said Radioactive. I feel like
World
According to Elmer. So you can, and I think actually, if you're looking for a specific one of the podcasts, you could also search the actual podcast name. I don't know with Radioactive if it does that, but I know with Nanosecond and World According to Elmer, you can specifically search those two, and probably Four Guys. I've never tried yet, but you can specifically search the show, and like the last month worth of shows will pop up. We're also on YouTube, but
Twitter.
And Twitter. I mean, after the fact. Well, Twitter, yeah. Twitter is after the fact. My bad. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, Twitter is probably one. It's actually starting to grow with us a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're averaging 3 or 4 views over there a program, so that's not too bad. Anyway, how's your day going, Mr. Dale? Besides long and arduous.
Oh, it hasn't been too bad.
Well, that's good. I got an Amazon order today. I ordered some AA batteries from Amazon. The idiots sent me AAA, so I'm not paying for them. I've already told them that.
Rosie.
That's what a nice way to screw up your Sunday. Am I bitter? Not yet. But they don't have to know that. Anyway, we got We're actually going to do a show tonight. I've got 4 pretty cool clips that I want to use. There's going to be a little room between them, so we'll probably do some Flora's Corners too. But right now, as it sits, we've got. We're going to talk about the time change. We're going to talk about 10 illegal things that you can buy on Amazon and get away with them. I've got a clip coming on the red tide / seaweed that's going to eat Florida. It's going to just eat it right off the country. Then as I was searching around for something on AI, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. But I did stumble across this Forrest Gump thing that tells about how the special effects were used or were created for Forrest Gump. And I've always wondered how they did that flower thing or that feather thing at the end and in the beginning. And they actually show you how they did that. It's going to be pretty cool. But so that's pretty much what we're going to cover tonight. Really ain't got a whole lot going on. How about you girls? What you girls got going on?
Not much.
Aw.
That's our little one.
Oh, I thought that was you talking.
That's our. That was that's Phoenix.
Where's my chicken dance when I need it?
Born.
Did it?
She was born a month ago.
Oh.
Or it was born a month ago.
There's a
Still
cat
too young
checking it
to
out.
have sex. Yeah.
Too young to have a gender?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you can't really tell what. I mean, it's got a gender, but it's too young to be able to tell what it is yet.
Oh, that's cool. It's kind of a lazy Sunday.
So, interesting topic we don't have a video on, but I don't know if anybody saw the news story about the dude who was bit by the zebra in Centerville, Ohio. And the interesting part of that is it's illegal to own a zebra in Ohio.
I didn't know that.
I saw that story, Erik. Yeah.
Are you ready to go get a zebra there, Pat?
Erik, don't you be passing that word along now.
Yeah, and then
There's going to be somebody upset.
About that time, I'll be swinging through the jungle yelling.
But yeah, according to Ohio law, zebras fall into the same category as horses. So you can own a zebra in Ohio. So, for listeners, have fun if you want a zebra. Just make sure it's not psychotic and it won't bite your arm.
Yeah. Otherwise, it gets euthanized.
And you got to worry when it walks up to you and says,
Look at those steaming weenies.
That's when you got to worry.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
Oh, Patrick.
I got a sick sense of humor. I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
Nope. That's what makes this show interesting.
Oh, my.
I don't know who did that. That was supposed to be Mr. Sulu, I think, from...
Yeah.
But I don't think that's where that came from. I think it may have been this other place we worked. But...
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
my, yeah. I think so, too.
What do I know? I just use it. Anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything good that's happened to me this week.
What about Justine? She have anything to share?
Justine, are you shareable?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, just having a day.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that. I thought it was because I sent you that sad emoji over that sandwich.
Oh, no. You know, we didn't have any left.
I I didn't mean to intimidate you. Yeah, right. I need a sound effect. I'd like to have said that, but I'm just not that big a liar. And I know that exists somewhere. But anyway, that's excuse me. Really ain't even any sports to watch. Unless
I know.
Unless you like
There
men's.
was one positive in sports today.
What's that?
Bookville won the state championship for Division Two.
Oh, sweet. I thought you were going to tell me that somebody signed with Pittsburgh.
I thought it was going to be Steelers related too.
Nope. Akron Bookville, my alma mater. Sorry.
Yeah,
But that's also awesome.
Who did they pick up today? Do you remember, Erik?
Browns?
No, Pittsburgh. They signed somebody today.
I don't think
it looked
they
like it was
did.
It was going to be a pretty decent addition. But I don't remember who it was. Devon something or other. I know Cleveland has had a couple of people disappear that not really disappointed over, but it's one of those, well, let's see what they pick up in return. You always get that in free agency like that.
Just a quick tease, though. For those listening, on the Nanosecond podcast on Tuesday night at 7, find out why the Browns really signed who they did. That's all I'll say.
All right. Well,
and I'll fill you in on that after the show, Pat.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. The guest will be, Dan Minigan for that night?
Yes, from 92.3 The Fan.
That's cool. He should like it here.
Oh, yes. He's only been on 3 or 4 times already.
That's fine. Always welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no, I'm saying, like, you said he should like it here. Well, clearly he does. Everybody likes it.
Yeah, everybody likes it here.
Yeah.
Because we've just got such fantastic senses of humor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we run a perfect format, too. All the shows do.
That's right. We're just perfect in every way.
Yep.
That's why we started quarter after the hour instead on the top. I think we're supposed to because we're just so perfect.
Yep. Hey, that's their show. My show never starts.
Oh,
I should shut up
crap.
because.
Oh crap.
Okay.
Goodness.
We're not gonna throw guests under the bus, but as long as we don't have any technical issues.
Yeah, with both of us looking at
boobies.
And you saying,
I love boobies.
That's why we start late. Yeah, come on, you can admit it now.
Okay, this is really bad timing for this. But it was an offensive lineman that the Steelers signed, by the way, Pat.
All right. That'll work. That just distracted me.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to ask Dale a question?
Sure.
And it's not a Flora's Corners question. It's like I was just wondering how the weather was for him this last week where he was traveling.
Well, a few days ago it was crappy from Chicago down to where was I going? Chicago down to Phillipsburg, Missouri. It was extremely windy, and it would rain, slow down, sprinkle, stop. Then 5 or 10 minutes goes by. Then rain, slows down, sprinkles, stops. All the while having like 30 some mile an hour wind gusts and about 20 mile an hour constant winds.
Mm.
But otherwise, it's just been sunny and windy, but not as windy as it was.
In other words, fun
So
to
I guess
drive in.
the saying that March comes in like a lion and leaves like a lamb is holding true this year.
Well, I was just wondering. I was hearing so many stories about snow and stuff out there, and that's why I was wondering how snow and floods and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't know.
Oh yeah, I heard there was 100-car accident in Michigan,
Wow.
up north of Lansing,
Yeah.
and then I think my company sent out a message a few days ago that I-40 in New Mexico was parts of it was either closed or very slow moving.
Mm.
I can't remember where, but it's usually either west of Albuquerque or east of Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been anywhere near that area for a while.
Well, I always wonder where you're at when I see some of them terrible storms that are out there. It's like, oh my gosh, hope he's not having to drive through that crap. Of course, Patrick sees something like that and he goes, I'm so glad I don't have to drive. And that kind of stuff
I said
anymore.
that just exactly like that this morning.
Yeah. Well, or yesterday or something. I don't know.
I looked at that weather and I thought, my God, am I glad I don't have to look driving that anymore. That was just something else.
Spring teased us with the warm weather, kind of warm weather, and then it got dipping down cold. Man, it felt really cold. Felt so sorry for that little puppy that got back in here this morning at one point. She was like, shiver, shiver, shiver.
Yep.
Well, it was kind of weird because it was like 40-ish, if I remember correctly. I think it was like 40-ish in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Then I left Chicago and was going down towards St. Louis. And by the time I got to I parked in DeVernon. It's like 80 some miles north of St. Louis. It was 61 degrees. Then I looked at the weather and it was 18 degrees the following morning. So it's some crazy weather.
That's a difference. That's what we've had as far as weather change here. We're 60 degrees one day and 30 to the next. And if that trend continues, we're going to be in for a fun spring. But so far it seems to have dropped off a little bit. I would rather have it warm or without the major fluctuations in the weather. Yeah, when you get springtime like this and you get that variation, and you get the sunspots or and you get the cold fronts and everything coming through, and you get the atmosphere all stirred up, you're going to end up with tornadoes and everything else. There's been a lot of that this year so far, and it's not been normal, to say the least. But that's what happens when you've got, I think this is El Nino or La Nina, and it's pushing the warmth up into the United States from the Gulf. It's a long story, but to make a long story short, That's why the weather's been fluctuating like it's been. If you watch the patterns, it's going to probably continue for a while. But hopefully we'll have a nice warm spring and summer. And it will be a wonderful time. Actually, this is their the spring equinox, isn't it today? What is the date today?
I thought it was supposed to be Tuesday.
I think Dale may be right.
I think you're right. I think it's supposed to be the 21st. This is the 19th, so yeah. Sounds about right.
It's tomorrow at 5:46 p.m.
Okay.
By the way, hello, Ellie. I see you joined us. Welcome. You ought to come in and talk to us. Always got to be poking that.
Yeah.
Poking her in the side.
She's
Hey, come on
gonna
in.
poke you one of these days.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be ready for that or not. It would depend on if I have on my Never mind, I ain't going there.
No, I wouldn't either.
But anyway, it's what, about 20 to 8? Oh, 7:45 already. God, time flies when you're having fun. Let's take and get into our first subject.
Shh.
You don't want to do that?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Twitter lost connection. Twitter better not lose connection. Let's see here. I want to go to...
Elon could have...
Despite what you may believe, Forrest Gump actually used an incredible amount of VFX for a movie of that time.
Okay.
I didn't want to do that.
Alright.
So let's just stop that. What are we going to talk about? You want to do Forrest Gump?
Since we started it, let's...
Want to do the Red Tide, 10 things you can buy illegally on Amazon? Or we can talk about the time change?
Let's do the Forrest Gump. It looks like I don't know if you had to do anything, but Twitter looks like it has connection now. So.
Oh, that's good. Who knows? I didn't do anything. I just let it roll. All right, let's do this Forrest Gump thing. It actually talks about the... I was actually looking for something on AI because I had seen this, or we had seen this thing a couple of days ago on this band that was completely artificial intelligent, and I couldn't really find anything on it. So, but as I was poking around, I found this Forrest Gump thing, and it looked pretty interesting. So let's grab a gander at this. We'll be back on the other side of it. You're watching and listening and hopefully everything else in between. On your Sunday night from 7 to 9, you're watching the Radioactive Show. Isn't that amazing? We'll be right back.
Despite what you may believe, Forrest Gump actually used an incredible amount of VFX for a movie of that time, from the very beginning with this feather sequence which we'll explain later, and continuing right throughout the movie. But aside from the obvious uses of VFX like getting Tom Hanks to appear in a variety of historical footage, like this shot with Lyndon Johnson, this shot with John Lennon, or this one with Richard Nixon, visual effects were cleverly used for these 4 different and very necessary reasons. 1. For augmentation. Sometimes a set or location where a shot is filmed isn't exactly how the director first envisaged. A road is shorter than needed, a stadium is smaller, a public area is less populated, or in some cases the budget just won't allow for anything better. So in this case, the VFX teams will adjust, extend, and augment the environment to the director's specifications. In this scene, Forrest had to speak to a massive crowd in the Lincoln Memorial. Unfortunately, to create a crowd this big, you'd need around 250,000 people. So the team shot Tom going up to say his speech on a motion control camera in front of a large crowd at the front of the stage. After completing that shot, they then moved the crowd to different quarters all around the reflecting pool and filmed it with the motion control camera, following it with the exact same moves it had previously. These shots were then composited with the original plate of Tom. A similar thing was done for the scene where Forrest plays football for the University of Alabama. This was actually shot on a football field in the University of East LA. But here, instead of repositioning and filming the same crowd, they used digital matte paintings to extend both the stadium and the crowd. This was also done for the ping pong game in China, which was actually shot at Paramount Studios. And yes, that ping pong ball is actually CGI. 2. VFX were used for impact. It's not uncommon for a shot to lack the visual punch or emotion the director is looking for. A battle scene may seem empty, a fight scene too slow, or an explosion too feeble. So the VFX team will then use a number of different techniques to give the shot the impact that is required. In Forrest Gump, the director Robert Zemeckis wanted the first Vietnam sequence to be loud and busy with a lot of helicopters flying past in the background. But this just wasn't economically or logistically possible, and they could only manage to get 2 to fly through. So to solve this problem, at the same time as they were shooting the scene with the 2 helicopters flying past in the background, they had other camera operators hidden behind props and set pieces taking telephoto shots of them as they went by. All of these images were then composited into the shots and animated to look like they're flying through. 3. VFX were used for safety. Although most shots in movies are relatively safe to shoot, some of the dangerous shots that we see in them can still be quite dangerous to film. As actors aren't always trained to do some of the stunts required in a movie, stunt people or stunt doubles are used for anything deemed too dangerous for the actor. Unless your name is Tom Cruise or Jackie Chan, of course. But sometimes stunts are too complicated or too dangerous even for a trained professional, and here is where the VFX teams will step in. For the shot when Forrest is being chased by some guys in a truck, the director wanted the truck to be right close up to Tom. But if Tom had tripped up, the truck would have driven over him. So to avoid this danger, they filmed a plate of Tom running on his own with the camera locked off. They then filmed another plate of the truck on its own and panned it when it turned. Then they did rotomats of Tom and composited both plates. And this guy here is a stuntman. They did the same for this shot when Forrest enters the football field. Number 4. VFX were used to solve problems. "We'll just fix it in post" is a phrase that filmmakers love and VFX vendors hate. But sometimes there is just no other way around it. This is when VFX teams have to get their thinking caps on, and oddly enough, it's also when they're at their most creative. The ambush sequence in this movie brought its own set of challenges, like how do you blow up 2 soldiers without actually hurting anyone? The solution they came up with was to shoot one plate with the cameras locked off and the actors attached to wires and getting pulled out of the shot. Then they shot 2 crude dummies laid on top of an explosive and wired so they too could be pulled out of the shot, and in doing so would come slightly apart. They also shot some different pyro elements and explosions at different frame rates. Then, using high-speed compositing software from Discrete Logic called Inferno, they combined the fireball with the dummies and then cut from the live-action plate to that composite right here. Another problem that appeared in this sequence was when Tom Hanks had to carry a 90-kilogram Michael T. Williamson out of the jungle whilst napalm exploded behind them. Once again with the camera locked off, they filmed a stuntman carrying another stuntman from a distance and then stumbling. Then, just when he stumbles right here, they morphed into a shot of Tom carrying Williamson, who was obviously too heavy for Tom to carry, and so was attached to a wire hanging from a crane to pick up his weight. For the napalm component of the shot, the special effects team set up a tremendous amount of pyro elements and gasoline to mimic napalm, all running up towards the cameras which were set at various different speeds. They then composited the actors in front of the pyro footage, morphing from the stuntmen to the actors right on the stumbling point. Something you may not have noticed in this shot is that these jets, and the napalm containers they drop, were CGI. And these birds flying from the cornfield were also 100% CGI. Another problem they had to solve was the feather sequence. How do you control a feather that's being blown about randomly in the wind? You could use a man in a green suit to puppeteer the feather, but Mr. Green here can't fly, and so the feather sequence was done by first filming the entire shot without the feather, filming a feather on a wire in front of a blue screen, and then superimposing and animating its position on top of the footage. However, aside from it needing to make reflections on this car, or on this wet floor here, the feather still needed to transition from superimposed to real, and this is where VFX came in handy. On the original plate, they lent a real feather against Tom's shoe, which was then digitally painted out. Then, by using a CG feather, they were able to make the transition from blue screen feather to CG feather, and then finally animate it to fall and be crossfaded into the real feather.
Honest, I'm awake.
Yeah.
Honestly. What the heck? Oh, there it is. I'm awake. Really, I am. So what'd you guys think?
That was interesting. That they had the technology to do it. Back then, I wonder how the technology has evolved now for the CGI or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think I've seen that movie probably 10 times, and every time I see it, I pick up on something different. Mel, you got
That's
something?
my favorite movie.
Yeah. Do you know
No,
how
it's my favorite movie.
Do you know
I've seen it probably over 1,000 times. I watch it every time it's on.
Did you guys know how they did the feather sequence and all that?
No.
Mm-mm. And if you watch it at the very end of the movie, I've seen outtakes too. That when Forrest meets his little boy or whatever in that apartment that Jenny's in,
Iron?
the iron is standing straight up in one of the scenes, and then they pan away from it and pan back and it's down. So they had a goof.
Yeah. I didn't realize there was a quote at the end of that movie about what that feather meant. I had never known that either, or realized that. Something about Mama used to say something about a feather on the wind. I don't remember exactly how that went, but
That was the symbolism of
it was a symbolism of the feather.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, like I said, I've watched that movie probably 10 or 15 times. And every time I watch it, I find something different on it. Kind of similar to what, any movie. I've watched, I'm into the Mandalorian series on Disney now. And I've watched that a couple of them 2 or 3 times just to try to get everything out of it. And that gets interesting. What do you think over there, Mr. Dale? You still driving?
No, I'm in this drop lot near where I deliver. I'm trying to back in, but these trailers are not exactly in any semblance of order.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I mean, it has a asphalt drive, and then it goes into like dirt, compacted dirt gravel.
Yeah.
And there's no lines, so the trailers are like mostly straight, but it's not like all the ducks are in a row. So I'm just trying to figure out, because all these are drop trailers, and I'm still going to be attached to mine. So I don't want to be sticking out too much.
Yeah, I don't blame you there.
So I'm just circling around, seeing where I'm going to put this. When was Forrest Gump produced?
That's a good question. We ought to use
Wasn't
that
that
as
in the 80s or something?
You ladies that have watched it, I half a million times. What year did
It
it
came
come
out in 1994.
Oh, 94.
94.
Yeah, where were you in 1994?
I had just graduated high school.
I'd been divorced for 2 years.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Wow.
partying hardy.
I was waiting in the wings.
He's shaking bacon. I help.
I was going to say, it looks like that's what's happening. I think Missy's going to have some of that tonight, too.
Shaking and baking.
Hey, Forrest Gump's gonna be on again Saturday on CMT.
It's always on, Erik.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to find it somewhere all the time.
That's one of those, it's a classic, so they play it all the time.
Yep.
All right, can I ask Erik something now?
Uh-oh. Yes, what's up?
You're just full of questions tonight, ain't you?
I got to know something, Erik, since Michael's not here. So, did you try out the superstition last week about opening up the umbrella in the house in front of
I forgot.
in front of the mirror with no
with
underwear,
no underwear on?
and dancing?
No.
I thought you were supposed to do that and report back to us.
I forgot about it.
What's up with this?
So, Michael, I'm sorry if you happen to be listening or will be listening. I didn't want to steal your thunder, but I've been thinking about that all week. Not about Erik dancing in his with no underwear.
That's a little weird.
Let's get a little weird about this.
No.
Stop while you're ahead.
Oh dear. All right, I'm done asking questions now.
Hey, I did go to a comedy show though. It was pretty
Yeah?
good. At least what I remember of it.
Pardon the break.
Quit.
But who would you go see?
Brandon Iyer and there was a few other guys.
Okay.
I don't remember who they were, but Brandon Iyer was the headliner. He did stuff for Comedy Central.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I thought there was supposed to be a girl there.
No, not this week.
Might be.
There was yesterday on the Saturday show. She stopped in and did 5 minutes. I can't remember who it was, though.
Kelly somebody or other, I think. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you went to my favorite comedy place.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete and Adele are the great people. But anyway, we're looking at 8 o'clock here. Let's do some Floras. You got any Flora's corners? Can we get you in the corner, dear?
No, we're not going to get me in the corner.
Oh, come on.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
I think it'd be sweet.
No. What's funny
Put
is...
your-
Huh? What's that, Dale?
We're gonna put you in the corner of a circular room.
Yeah, I hear you. That's an old Amish thing. Now, what's funny about these questions today? I thought I had 5, but I really only have 4 questions. because I wrote the one question down twice. And it's kind of amusing about the question that I wrote down twice. So I'm going to read that question and you all will get a chuckle. If you could name your brain, what would you call it? Well, at this time and point in my life, I think I'd call my brain, let's see, what did I say? Foggy? I can't remember.
Old foggy.
Old foggy. Because obviously I can't remember much anymore since I wrote that question down twice. I get up to go somewhere and I can't remember what I went to go for. Probably 3 times this morning I did that going upstairs.
I wanted to take the leash up for the dog and forgot it 3 times. I'm here to I'll testify to that.
So, anybody got a name for their brain?
Everybody talk at once.
Vincent said an idiot sandwich.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, that's a good one. How about
Annoying.
you, Mel? How about you, Melly?
How about me?
Yeah, how about you?
I don't know. I name it I don't know. I say I don't know a lot.
Captain Overthink.
Mine would be old and grumpy.
Mine would be Princess. I don't give a.
Justine.
That's how I feel today. I don't give a.
Okie dokie.
Her name, Ellie said that that's easy. Her brain's name is Einstein. That's pretty good if you think about it. Is that right, Einstein? All right, who's left? Erik, you got one?
I said Captain Overthink, but
Yeah.
that wasn't really good. But I couldn't come up with anything.
Hey.
All right, who's left here? Dale?
Stop. Shh.
I've never thought about that.
Huh. All right, who's left? Justine go?
Yeah.
I don't know. My short-term memory's shot.
Everybody went, Pat.
You say, yeah, I was going to say, because you were second or something. You said foggy grumpy or grumpy foggy. See, I can't even remember what he said.
I don't remember what I said 2 minutes ago. Long back then.
That's about the way I am. I don't know.
That was about 2 minutes ago, Pat.
I'm old froggy.
How about goldfish?
Huh?
Yeah, the goldfish memory.
Okay.
I was going to say, this is scary to think I work for a living there. I have to remember things, and I can't even
That's called a game face there.
remember half the...
That's called life.
That's called the game face. You put the game face on to go to work.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyways.
All right, let's have another one here.
Okay, here's another one. When was the moment in your life you laughed the hardest?
Ooh.
Probably, with me, probably watching Blazing Saddles. Or Airplane the movie. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in my life when I've watched those 2 flicks. Who's next?
I don't think, for me, I don't think I really have one.
Oh, come on. You've had to have laughed sometime. I mean, you're here. You laugh every time you come in here.
True. I mean, I wouldn't say the hardest, though.
Gosh, Erik, we're going to have to try harder, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe if you look in the mirror, you can think of something.
I mean,
Well, I've laughed when
my
I've looked in
face
the
is
mirror
funny
before.
enough. So.
I mean, I'm on podcasts, so I guess I could say I have a face for radio.
Yeah, we all do that.
Yeah.
I've looked in the mirror before and laughed. What the fuck is that?
I'm gonna have to say, for me, what I remember as far as laughing the hardest was, and this is gonna sound sad, but back in the 80s, almost in the 90s, I guess it was the 90s, I was driving home between Lodi and Medina, and I hit a turtle with my 86 Crown Vicky. And I never laughed so hard. But it was sad because this turtle was spinning. I could see it in my rearview mirror, spinning around and around on its little top. My one friend fussed at me though, because she really liked turtles, and she says, "Well, that's awful." But it was so funny watching that thing. It was just like in my rearview mirror, you know. It was just like, oh my god. That's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that made me laugh so hard.
I know what Melanie's is going to be. I know what Melanie's is going to be. There was a certain incident going to West Virginia, which she imitated pretty well.
What? Oh.
Going to West Virginia. I don't think I've ever seen you laugh that hard. Yeah, I see you there. I don't think I've ever seen you laugh that hard, and I was so embarrassed it wasn't even funny. Oh, well.
Yeah, I got 6 birds now.
Huh?
Now I have 6 birdies as pets. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, just don't let them even close to any minivans.
You have stories with that, Pat?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, you better let Melanie tell that story.
So, we were on our way to a family reunion in West Virginia. And Dad had a big old minivan, and it was all of us. And all of a sudden, this bird flew in front of the minivan, and Dad didn't have enough time to slow down, and he hit it. And I got looking in the back, you know, as we went past it. You know, it flew over the roof, and it was going like this, like, "You hit me! Oh my God!"
That wasn't exactly the story I remember. I had been through that area probably 10 times in my life. You know, I knew there was ducks and that down in there, and geese. And so we're going cruising down through there, and sure enough, there's a family of geese there, and I ran right on through them.
Excuse me.
And I looked in the rearview mirror and saw one going like she imitated. I didn't know it flew over the roof. All right, Gary was... when Gary slipped on the ice and dropped all of the clean laundry he was carrying, I couldn't stop laughing. After I said, "Oh, my clothes are going... oh, my clothes are going to get dirty."
Really? Oh my gosh. I remember falling once in high school, slipping and falling in the flippin' foyer of the high school when I was a sophomore. Fell right on my butt. And the music teacher's over there, and he's laughing, and oh my God, his laugh. It was, and he was laughing at me. Nobody bothered to say, "Hey, Flora, are you okay?" It was like, geez, thanks a lot, dude.
Yeah, really. What the heck?
Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, so we need an answer from, what, Justine and Dale? Dale and Justine? What was the question again?
Huh?
Yeah.
The hardest you laughed.
I know. Oh,
I can
That's
go
right.
if she's thinking.
Go ahead.
I would have to say the thing that sticks out in my memory the most is watching Monty Python, The Holy Grail, and the first airplane movie.
That first airplane movie was really good. Quit calling me Shirley.
Oh yeah, I think Pat and I had a
The
thing
only
on
one.
text messages with all the different quotes. My favorite was Johnny. That
Yep.
worked in the control tower.
Yep. Go check the microwave. Or go check the radar range.
Yeah, check the like. And what was the other? I'm trying to remember them now.
Oh,
Well, Johnny, it's a twister. It's a twister. NTM. I can't remember the whole scene there, but
Johnny, what
they
can
were
you
all
make of
past.
that? Oh, I can make a hat.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. They had a they were passing around the newspaper, and the newspaper was like reading all these different headlines, and
Yep.
part of that scene, they hand the paper to Johnny, and he goes, "There's a sale at Penny's."
Yep. Johnny, what do you make of that? Oh, I can make a hat. I can make a boat.
I see.
Well, I like it when they're looking for the plane, the land, and they said, McCroskey says, "They should have been here by now." Johnny, check the range. He opens up the range, looks inside the microwave, closes it. Well, another 10 minutes.
Dale reminded me of mine. We were at Ponderosa eating dinner, and we just it was before we got married, I think. A deep conversation, and he gets ice cream for dessert. I look over at him, and he's going like this with a spoonful of ice cream, going trying to cool off his ice cream. And I was like, okay. He goes, "Did I just do that?" And I said, yeah.
So we
Don't
got
tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
We got a comment on Facebook. Yes, Sonia, I see your thing. Post.
I was gonna say it, but go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Eric. You
Okay.
You got it.
She said, "I never laughed so hard when Sean Morrow married me and had no clue what he was in for." Then she said, "Too bad Pat can't see this, but we passed it on to him."
Yep.
So.
Well, I think one of the funniest times with us was when people kept telling Flora before she married me to run. Run, Flora. You don't know what you're getting into. Run.
Yep, I heard it.
She didn't listen.
Run, Forrest, run.
Run, Flora, run!
And here we are. What, I gotta think about this.
All you had to do is introduce her to me. That's all it would have taken. Think you know him?
That's who you hang out with?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. Thank God I didn't meet you till many years later, huh?
14 years ago. My God.
Well, I think that was a work in progress because I think Pat realized that you had to work that in there. We couldn't just bring it all at once.
I remember you getting called redhead number 2.
Me, yeah. Me.
15 years ago.
Huh?
It'll be 15.
Yeah.
15 years in May, yeah.
Well, March for us. At the end of the month.
No, Dale, I don't know if you remember a ham named Dan Atkinson. I don't know what his call was or anything, but
W8. You know, I'm sure you knew who he was, Dale. I mean, he used to run the 2-7. He used to run the 2-7 nets all the time.
DFA, was it?
Yeah, W8 DFA.
But we, thank you guys.
Dan Flippin' Atkinson, that's what I used to call him, DFA.
But Patrick and I went with him to a meeting at the Red Cross before we got married. And this gentleman came out there and said, "Oh, I think I met you before." And I'm standing there thinking, "No, I've never met you." And I said, "I don't think you've met me." He goes, "Sure." And then Pat's like, "No, no, that was," and Dan goes, "Oh, so this is redhead number 2." And it was just like, Patrick was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." But yeah, I was redhead number 2.
That's right.
And then we met Dale.
Yep, and things went downhill from there.
He became the redheaded stepchild.
And things went to hell in a handbasket from there.
And then there's Erik.
Yeah, redheaded stepchild too.
Even now yeah.
Even though you don't have red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Redheaded in spirit.
Oh.
And every day I get up, I have to say,
I do the ass kicking around here.
Yeah, what's sad was when Patrick and I were going to get married, and I was talking to some people at work, and because my father, I mean, he never even walked me down the aisle the first time. He wasn't about to do it the second time. And I was sharing about all of this, and this one gentleman that I was friends with at my previous employer that was a black gentleman, he made the joke, well, he could walk me down and I could be his red-headed stepchild. I thought, oh yeah, that would have gone over real well.
That would have looked really good in a Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio church.
In a Catholic church in Cuyahoga Falls.
Caucasian Falls.
And a black dude from Canton walking. He was such a nice guy though. But yeah, Charles was going to be my black stepfather. Anyway, all right. Do we want to do another topic here, or?
Yeah, let's pop into another topic.
Is there anybody else that had to answer yet? Though I'm sorry if I forgot anyone.
Anybody?
Justine, Dale.
I said mine. Nobody laughed, so.
Oh, okay. All right, well, what are we going to do next topic-wise? We got the red tide. We got things you can buy illegally or the time change.
Time change.
Yeah, I need that too. All right, we're going to switch over here and do I found this clip last week when we never had a chance to use it, so we're going to do that now. We'll be back. You're listening and watching the Radioactive Show here on the Crooked River Radio Network and all social media. See you in a bit.
It's that time of year again. At 2 a.m. Sunday, clocks spring forward 1 hour.
I need a solid week off of everything to adjust.
The twice-a-year time-traveling tradition has plenty of people sounding off from the big screen.
And I want to end daylight savings time.
To perhaps more fittingly, on TikTok.
Don't get me wrong, I'm excited to have the sun setting later in the day again, but why can't it just be like that all year round?
Every March, we spring forward to daylight saving time to allow for more light in the evenings. That's when we lose an hour of sleep. 8 months later, we fall back to standard time to provide more light when we wake up. But for many, shifting schedules can take a toll on their body clocks. Research shows a spike in car crashes, heart attacks, strokes, and workplace injuries in the days around the time shifts.
We're talking about 1 hour of time, but you're saying it actually can have serious consequences?
It really can. Yeah, we are creatures of habit and our bodies are meant to do certain things at certain times. Now everything just gets shifted by an hour and it takes longer for our bodies to adjust to it.
The majority of Americans would do away with the time changes according to a new poll, and more people would prefer locking the clock on daylight saving time.
It's kind of like confusing having half the world doing it and half the world like not doing that.
I'd be happy to see it go away. Just makes everything a little bit easier, I think, if it went away.
Congress is considering making that happen, reintroducing the bipartisan Sunshine Protection Act. But some critics point out we've tried year-round daylight saving time before, which after a string of morning traffic accidents in the 1970s lasted less than a year. Author of Seize the Daylight, David Perrow, believes we should embrace the current system.
Even with the problems some people have with the time change, I still think that the current system is the best alternative.
Now we'll just have to wait and see if the sun will set on the time-changing tradition.
So when Senator Rubio first introduced the bill several years ago, there were no co-sponsors. This year, the latest version has 14. Still, the chances for a majority appear dim. So at this point, you'll have to move to Arizona or Hawaii if you're hoping to escape the time shifts, the only two states without them.
Stay strong, Arizona.
All right,
yeah,
let's go, Emily. Thank you. We're going to bring in Dr. Carol Ash. She's a sleep expert with the RWJ Barnabas Health. Good morning. Good to see you, Dr. Ash.
Hi.
This debate, we do this every year.
Every year.
We're like, are we going to end daylight saving time? And yet here we are year after year. Why? What's the answer to why not change it?
Well, there's no argument that we need to get rid of changing the clocks, because every time we adjust the clocks, even that hour, that abrupt change, it's difficult for the internal clock in our brain to adjust that quickly.
So wait, are you saying that so we shouldn't be making the clocks go back and forth?
We should leave it alone, but we should leave it alone and stay on standard time, not daylight saving time.
So why is that?
Yeah, what's the? I never can. I'm from Arizona. This blows my mind. What's the difference?
The key is understanding that standard time is designed to be aligned with your physiology. So there's a clock in your brain, right?
Yeah.
And it's the clock in your brain. The strongest setter of that clock is the sun. And when the sun comes up in the morning, that's how that clock is set. And that clock maintains all the rhythms for wake and sleep and your hormones and even the expression of your genes. So maintaining daylight in the morning and dark at night is best for our health and well-being.
When we do change the clocks, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, my kids, it was so crazy. They got up at this hour. I feel like my kids once a week or twice a week lose an hour just because of life, because of a cold or because they went to bed late or whatever. Why does this have such a lasting impact?
Well, as you're pointing out, we all have bad habits. Our sleep environment is not always conducive to sleep. That 1 hour change, what it does is it causes release of inflammatory substances. It's very stressful on the body. The heart rate goes up, the blood pressure goes up. And studies have actually shown that the 2 days after daylight savings time, that change, that there's an increase in heart attacks, strokes.
What?
Yes. At car accidents.
Just 1 hour?
Just that 1 hour. Incredibly stressful. So that's why no more changing, and we need to stick to standard time.
Is there anything you'd suggest to kind of make, since we're stuck with it for the moment?
Yeah.
Just to manage it better?
Well, you can prepare. I mean, obviously, we're right on top of daylight savings time. You really should start a week before, but you still can change your schedule 15 minutes a night, you want to go to bed earlier so that you can acclimate to this abrupt change.
Starting now or
even tonight, just go to bed 15, 20 minutes earlier tonight.
But it's Friday night, Dr. Ash. We stay up till what, 8:30, 9 on Friday
We're on
nights?
a bender on
Yeah.
I know, the doctors are no fun. But you really want to stick to that. And in the morning, it's very critical to expose yourself to light, right? And you could try like a relaxing bedtime routine at night because it's hard to fall asleep and, move your time earlier. But most of us are sleep deprived and will fall asleep readily.
Can we ask just the age-old question? What's the right amount of sleep we're supposed to get a night?
7 to 8 hours.
7 to 8?
Okay.
7 to 8 and a regular schedule. Key.
Okay.
Let's just say you wake up before the sun every day asking for a friend. Do those fake lights, those little light sources, do those work? Is that a good thing to do?
Natural light is always best. It's the strongest setter of that clock in your brain.
Yeah.
But yes, those lights, those commercial lights
They
are
can
helpful.
help?
They can absolutely help. So you want to wake up in the morning, really expose yourself to light and set that clock.
Do you think we'll ever see the day where Congress says, yeah, you know what, let's end daylight saving time?
I know, it's an interesting debate. I hope we do see the point in time where we do end it.
But from a medical standpoint,
exactly.
Makes sense.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Ash, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.
All right, we're back. What'd you think? You guys in favor of daylight savings time or no?
Get rid of the time change. Keep it the way it is now.
I agree. Was anybody else bothered by the way she said clock?
What did you think? What did you think she was saying, Justine?
I kept going like, what? It's not. You know what she was saying.
You got to put a cock in your brain. That's the most cockamamie thing I've ever heard.
We do thank NBC News for that clip, though.
Tell me I wasn't the only one thinking it. Come on.
I guess I wasn't.
I heard it too. Okay. I was bothered by it.
I heard it, but I didn't say nothing about it. I didn't think it was my part to. Anyway, that you guys in favor of the time change? I know, Erik, you said you have. I think I'd rather drop it back to standard time and be done with it myself.
Standard time, wouldn't it be getting darker earlier though?
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't like
later.
I don't like that.
I like it later.
Yeah, I don't know, but they need to do something and decide what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, because it took me about a week to get used to it.
I'm sitting here falling asleep now.
Yeah.
That story I sent to you, Pat, I can't remember which one I sent you because I read a couple articles on this. One of the articles, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could have the number wrong, but I thought there was like 18 states that already had tentatively approved the time change, but they weren't legally allowed to do it until the federal government passed their law.
That's what they have to do. They can prepare for it, but they have to wait till the federal government does it in order to do away with it.
How does Arizona get away with it?
I don't know.
I think it has something to do with the Native American land.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that's the same thing with. Well, I think Hawaii is a little different. I think Hawaii is because they were. I don't know. I can't remember. I listen to a lot of this stuff while I'm driving, but some of these things I have to listen to again because I forget some of the finite details. But if I remember correctly, the history of Hawaii is they were their own sovereign nation, and we had an agreement to use their land as a military base when fighting the Japanese, because there was I guess, what do they call that? Where they have information about Japanese invading California. I can't remember the word. It's been a long day for me. Anyways, that's bugging me. They didn't observe that, and when they became a state, there were some things that they were allowed to keep, and that was one of the things that they kept is the time zone, or what do you call it?
Hawaii is 5 hours behind us. Just for
Only
a fact.
Only 5?
Yeah, it's 2:32 there.
I thought it'd be a little bit more because we have Central, Mountain, Pacific, Alaskan.
6 hours.
And then
yeah, that would be 6. It's 2:32 there right now, so that's 6 hours.
Justine's going to find out shortly.
11 more weeks.
Going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
You going to visit Pearl Harbor?
I don't know what we're doing. I'm going. My niece is getting married.
If I was going out there, that would be the first.
They have multiple time zones. It's 2:32 in their one time zone, and then 11:35 in another one.
I'd be stopping at Pearl
that.
Harbor. Would love. That's one place I'd love to see. Just to see what's left of it. Well, I have a refund, supposedly.
I know we're going. We're gonna be swimming with stingrays one day off the Waikiki Beach, which is where we're staying. So I'm not sure what else we're doing.
Well, if you get a chance, you ought to go to Pearl for a day. I think I would be doing that myself. Of course, I'm more into the military stuff than some of you are.
Unfortunately, I'm not in charge of the vacation.
I like the history of stuff like that. Anyway, shape or form. Let's see, what do we got left here? We got the red tide and the illegal things. And we got about what?
Illegal things.
Want to do the illegal things?
Yeah.
All right, we can do that. You guys ready for that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's drop in there and see what they have to say. You're listening and watching the Radioactive Show here on the Crooked River Radio Network and all the social media at sea.
Illegal gadgets that you can buy. The internet is a wide and open space, especially when it comes to retail. And while you wouldn't expect high-risk and prohibited products to be easily accessible on selling sites like Amazon, there are still some items that could be purchased on the platform despite the product being somewhat outside the law. Here are some illegal gadgets that you can buy. Number 10. Car key grabber. There are almost 2,000 cars that get stolen or broken into in the United States every day. This could be because the technology that automakers put in cars to make them more convenient to use also allow thieves to grab the same vehicles with the same convenience. These newer model cars are equipped with keyless entry and keyless start, allowing motorists to unlock their vehicles and start the cars without taking their key fob out of their pocket. This fob communicates with the car by emitting a code that's picked up by an antenna inside your vehicle. The thing is, there's a device known as a car key grabber that can easily be bought online. This grabber receives and records the code emitted by the fob and transfers the data onto a booster, allowing the user to trick the car into thinking the authentic key fob is near. This allows thieves to enter your vehicle without having to manually manipulate a door and can easily allow them to start the engine and drive away. That's why you gotta make sure you don't have anyone holding on to these grabbers nearby when you use your key fob, so it won't be able to catch the code. Number 9. Lawmate Clip Camera. While it's mostly used for surveillance purposes, no ordinary person would generally walk around the neighborhood with a clip-on camera. So if you're looking for a discreet way to capture quality videos, then go with the Lawmate Tie Clip. The Tie Clip hidden camera is designed to complement your existing wardrobe while functioning as a full-color covert hidden camera. This battery-powered gadget is able to capture 550 lines of resolution and can simply be plugged into a DVR for immediate playback. Number 8. Multi-Pick Chronos. Lockpicking may be a necessary skill to those who need it, but it can also pose a dangerous threat, especially when the one picking the lock has less than good intentions, which is why it can be more than imposing when tools that make picking locks easier can also be found on the internet. The Chronos electric lockpick gun from Multipick is the most popular product from the company, providing state-of-the-art electronics and a powerful motor that make it the quietest electronic pick on the market. Designed, engineered, and manufactured in Germany, it has all the power you need to open most 4, 5, and 6-pin cylinder locks with a compact and lightweight design that makes the Chronos easy to grip while operating it. Number 7. Destruct Hard Drive Data Eraser. If you're hesitant with the factory reset you've just made on your computer's hard drive, then claim assurance from illegally recovered data with this Destruct Hard Drive Data Eraser. Reformatting a computer's hard drive often makes old data rewritable, which doesn't really assure that all secure data has been purged from your system. The Destruct Data Eraser provides permanent data destruction, allowing you to secure a true master reset to completely and permanently erase documents and files. This device is a military-grade data eraser that lets you get rid of confidential files and data that may be stored on your computer, so that you can have the peace of mind you need before releasing any of your gadgets to anyone else. Number 6. SRTYH Listening Device. This simple operation gadget, which serves as a listening device for construction and repairs, can also be used in more ingenious schemes. Typically used to measure wood and detect pipeline leakage, the SRTYH listening device has a high-sensitivity metal probe, equipped with improved sound quality headphones, allowing you to listen through wood, brick walls, windows, doors, and even through armor panels. This device technically also enables users to listen through walls, allowing you to pick up even the most minute noises in the other room. It has built-in lithium batteries with its compact design, allowing for easy operation and convenient carry anywhere. Number 5. Pocket Chip. In this age of smartphones and portable computers, it's remarkable to note that some gadgets were considered well beyond their time and were even shelved so as not to disrupt the existing market. The Pocket Chip was one such device. Touted as the Raspberry Pi killer, the Pocket Chip is a portable, battery-powered Linux computer with a QWERTY keyboard. At just 0.01 ounces, it has a 4.3-inch screen with a 4 gig hard drive size and a full-sized USB plug, as well as GPIO pin breakouts across the top for simple electronics projects. It runs real Linux and has the standard feature Pico 8 Fantasy Console, which allows you to code your own games and modify codes of other games you download. Many professional programmers started by tinkering with games, and this experience is placed front and center with the Pocket Chip. Number 4. Mini GPS Tracker. Most gadgets nowadays are equipped with trackers which allow you to determine where they are when you misplace them. Another great use for these trackers is in the realm of surveillance, such as tracking vehicles in real time. The GF07 Mini GPS Tracker is a magnetic device that can be attached to any metallic surface, such as that of a car or a truck, making it easy to hide and perfect for tracking vehicles. It has 2 powerful magnets that attach to vehicles firmly with no extra installation required. To acquire GPS coordinates for the tracker, you'll need to use a working SIM card inserted into the device, which can then be tracked in real time over the internet, such as on Google Maps. You can also use the device to listen in on your subject, which can be done by dialing the SIM card number, which prompts the device to turn on its microphone, allowing you to hear sound around the tracker without any light or noise from the device. This device is small and lightweight, making it perfect for a variety of uses. Number 3. Night vision goggles. An item you wouldn't expect to have is something that's mostly military in nature, but has somehow immersed into commercial use as well. These night vision goggles, which are now mainly used for hunting or for community watch, allow users to clearly see in the darkness, with 7 levels of adjustable illumination and an all-optical system that helps you see animals and plants clearly in the total darkness or dim ambient lighting. It can be used to take photos, record videos, and it can be used for immediate playback. It offers high-definition photos and videos with outstanding clarity no matter what the time of day. If used for hunting, the motion detection function can be turned on, with its anti-shake function to assist in stable viewing. With this device, hunting at night or keeping your community safe is now a 24-hour workday. Number 2. Keychain knives. One would think that knives would be hard to come by online, especially really sharp ones. In fact, there's a multitude of options when it comes to this weapon option, but in a more fashionable keychain package. These keychain knives come in different shapes and forms, often with highly reliable bangles that can hold on to your most valuable keys. But its most discernible feature is the easy-to-unfurl pointy knife that's included. These tools offer high-quality fold-out locking knives, from petite pocket knives to interesting pocket knife sets with different designs. One thing's for sure, no one's gonna try to grab for your keys with these. Number 1. Security Tag Magnet Remover. Most retail stores are equipped with security magnets placed on individual items that are detached at the counter upon purchasing. Bringing these magnets through the door will prompt an alarm which could alert security. But while passing through the door may be the first hurdle, there's actually a gadget you can purchase online that can remove those magnets altogether. This magnet remover allows you to take off tags of various sizes and shapes with an easy-to-understand manual that can help you use the device efficiently. What do you think about these illegal gadgets you can buy? We'd love to hear what you think about them by commenting below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more stories.
You can ring my bell. Ring my bell. My bell.
Ring my bell.
That was bad,
Sorry,
Flora.
we had a moment.
Yes, we did.
But that couldn't help but think of that.
Don't give up your day job.
I don't have a day. I don't have a day job.
You are
so I ain't
not
gotta
the
worry
next American Idol.
Hey, now.
Can you sing solo? So low I can't hear you?
Justine, you deserve this. Yeah, that's right. So low.
Well, one thing I wanted to point out about that, one about thing that could read the key fobs. That's not a universal thing. Some of the smarter car manufacturers utilize, I'm eating, rolling codes and encryption on their key fobs. And yeah, some of them, they have what they call a replay attack, where what happens is you hit the button on the, it's usually the ones that are easily cloned are the ones you have to hit the button. It doesn't have any detection. Those are the ones that are more easily cloned, because in their infinite wisdom, when you send the code to the car, it doesn't mark that code as used. So what can happen is they can send that again and unlock your car. The ones in cars, more of the upper end of the domestics and a lot of the luxury cars like Audi, BMW, Jaguar, Mercedes, and the other ones. They're more, I guess you could say, intertwined into the car's electronics, so that it's much, much harder to try to skim those. Because mine, because I have the push start, and I can walk up to mine and just put my hand. There's a sensor, because I have the door handles are like hoops. So I pull on it and it opens the door, but I can put my hand in the hoop, and that's a sensor that shows that my hand's there, and it will unlock the doors as long as I have my key fob on me. And it's also necessary for it to start the car, which I found out works pretty well, because my key fob battery started going out a couple months ago, and I'm going down the road and it comes up on my LCD screen on my dash. Key fob unrecognized. Car will be immobilized. Please park and repair to prevent immobilization.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I had to call the dealer and say, "What you talking about, Willis?" They walked me through it.
I would hope so. Being you got one of them $100,000 cars, I mean.
Yeah, the thing's too smart for its own good. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out for anybody listening, so they don't worry unnecessarily. I mean, I don't remember the car brands that have the worst and which ones have the best, but I'm blanking. I don't want to misspeak on any of them, but there are some domestics that are doing things a little bit more securely.
I feel like we need to put out this disclaimer, because I just think we do. We're not encouraging people to buy these things, to do illegal things. Yeah. I hope I'm not infuriating you by saying that, Pat.
I just here for your amusement.
Yes, because there's some of those things kind of, I'm like, that's probably not a good idea to put on, because there's a lot of car thefts in this area from dealerships. So I'm like, I hope that doesn't come off like we're encouraging people to buy. So I just want to disclaim, if I'm out of bounds for doing that, I'm sorry, but I just want to disclaim that. Anybody else have their reaction to this?
Don't everybody talk at once.
Okay.
Well,
with the whole car dealerships breaking into thing, I was told that there's a couple of insurance companies that are not taking Hyundai or Kia owners anymore.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah,
I heard that too.
There are fixes for those issues that they're having.
Well, what's sad is I saw an article or a story the other day, locally, Cleveland, I can't remember where, anyways, but that this woman had gone ahead and gotten the free anti-theft thing for the steering wheel and whatever from the local authorities, and they still broke in and took her car. So her daughter wasn't real happy about that, okay, here you go, pushing this, and we do it, and they still stole it. Which I think that, I don't know, I didn't see the story, see it, I just saw as I was buzzing through Facebook.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, did they saw the steering wheel off to get, access? I don't know,
Or are those things do they not work as well as they're advertised to work?
That's the whole thing. they may not be.
Well, I think some of those cars didn't have steering wheel locking mechanisms because some of the lower end, I'm not sure about the current model year of the Kias, but some of those Kias were pretty, how should I say, budget minded, where they didn't even have steering wheel locks. Where, you know how when you stop the car, put it in park, and if you try to turn your steering wheel, you'll hear a lock, you'll hear like a thing click, and then you can't turn your steering wheel. Some of the budget priced Kias didn't have that. So, and also some of those, there's nothing that they can do about it. There's nothing to reprogram, because the ones that they can fix are the ones that have the infotainment system and the keyless entry and all the other fancy doodads. Some of the budget models that didn't have all those features, there is nothing that they can do to fix the problem. So those cars are pretty much destined to be scrapped because they can't fix them, because all you had to, I can't remember what the thing was they had to do, but it had something to do with the USB port, which I'm kind of happy that I actually traded my Kia off for my car that I have now. I don't know.
Probably would have
if
been
I
a good
wouldn't have
idea.
I don't know if I would have gotten what I got for that car if they knew that this car was easily jacked.
Yeah. Well, we got one more article here, and I'd like to wrap this up in about another 15 minutes or so. Why don't we play this last clip, which is on the stuff that's happening in Florida, the red tide. This looks scary. Supposedly it's happened before, but let's take a quick gander at this. We'll be back on the other.
Is Alabama invading Florida?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, the red tide.
The Crimson Tide? Roll Tide!
Yep. So hang loose, we'll be back on the other side of this. You're listening and watching the Radioactive Show on Crooked River and all the social media sites at sea.
Despite what you may believe, Forrest Gump actually used an incredible amount of VFX for a movie of that time.
Welcome back to CBS Mornings, and welcome to Florida, where some of the most popular beaches could be in for a 1-2 punch of trouble just as thousands of spring breakers visit the Sunshine State. An algae bloom known as a red tide, already killing fish along the Gulf Coast, is now causing a big old stink. Now a massive blob of seaweed. This is threat number 2. This is wider than the entire U.S. It's drifting across the Atlantic, and it could wash ashore in the coming weeks, creating an even bigger mess in Florida. Manuel Bojorquez has more from Florida.
It is as foul-smelling as it is unsightly. Sea life dead and washed ashore, essentially choked by an algae bloom known as red tide. They appear to be cleaned up at this beach in Naples on Florida's Gulf Coast. The smell that lingered didn't stop tourists like Melanie Coulter of Wisconsin.
When we were walking from our car here, I'm like, oh, what is that stench?
But on a bad day, red tide can have an impact on tourism, as businesses here are still recovering from Hurricane Ian last year. Logan Fitzgerald measures it by the number of beach chairs and umbrellas he rents a day.
Today there was a good amount of people out here, but Saturday wasn't too good. Like, not a lot of people were coming out to the beach.
Saturday should be a good day.
Yeah, it should be a good day, especially on spring break.
The ocean breeze carries the toxin released by the red tide algae ashore, where it can cause health problems for people, from scratchy throats to irritated eyes, all the way to difficulty breathing and asthma attacks. While it is a naturally occurring algae, this team from the water school at Florida Gulf Coast University is looking into whether pollution is making the blooms worse.
It's probably been the worst over the past 2 weeks.
Mike Parsons is a professor here.
We've had bad red tides in the past, but the big concern is now that our coastlines are more developed and there's a lot more people in Florida than there used to be, how are we affecting water quality and how is that affecting red tide?
And what do we think?
There is evidence that we are influencing red tide.
So pollution may be aggravating the problem.
It may be aggravating the problem. It definitely is not the cause of the problem, but it may be aggravating the problem.
Now, another problem looms on the horizon. A 5,000-mile-wide patchwork of seaweed clumps in the Atlantic, captured in satellite images, is making its way toward the Caribbean, Mexico, and Florida beaches. In the past, the buildup of sargassum has been so large and smelly, heavy machinery was brought in to clear it.
As that biomass degrades, it's going to release gases, things like hydrogen sulfide, which smell like rotten eggs, but it's harmful, and so you don't want to be breathing that in a lot.
Would you advise against going in the water?
If you go to a stretch of beach and you see dead fish and you start getting a scratchy nose or your eyes are watering, probably not the best idea to stay there.
The potential impact of the seaweed here is still weeks away. The hope is red tide will have subsided, and all these beachgoers will have to worry about is catching a wave. For CBS Mornings, Manuel Bojorquez, Naples, Florida.
I mean, I don't remember it being that bad when I was a kid in Florida, but I also think I've been to spring break before. I've seen it. I don't think those college kids are going to care necessarily. They got other things on their mind.
I hope they do care. Well, many talked about how pollution's aggravating the problem. Climate change is also aggravating the problem,
sure it
according
is.
to scientists. Yeah.
I feel bad for those people that have those vacations already booked.
Very hard to step over a dead fish and say, hey, come on in, kids, the water's fine.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's definitely something to be concerning.
Well, you get the same thing in Lake Erie, up towards the Cincinnati area. You get that algae stuff all the time. What a lot of that's caused by is the runoff from the different farms and that are up there, that are in those areas. And fertilizer and everything else tends to make the algae bloom bigger. The concern is that big blotch of seaweed that's coming in too. There's between that and the algae stuff that could be a real mess down there, and it's going to take them a year or two to clean it up. You know, even though they're working on it constantly, it's a big problem. I don't think I'd want to be down there to take care of it. Although I'd love to live in Florida right now. That'd be fun.
That is a place I wouldn't want to live no matter what.
It's nice
Too
down
many unwanted friends coming to your door. Snakes, alligators,
it's nice down there.
crocodiles.
You get in populated areas, you'll never see that.
You also have Florida, man.
Yeah. Oh, you got Bigfoot up here.
You have to search for Florida, man. It's a real thing.
I didn't know that. I'll have to look for that. Anyway.
Melanie lived in Florida.
Yeah.
Was there a Florida man? Did you ever hear of him?
He's living with
Never heard of it.
She's living with him.
Frank might have.
Is he Florida man?
He might be Florida man. He's hairy.
That's a little more than I want to know.
I was going to say, I didn't know that I needed to know that either.
Well, yes.
Yep.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So, anyway, any big plans when you get back home, Dale?
Well, I was searching for Florida man here. I have to e-check my my car because we are one of the lucky 7 or what are we down to now? 7 or 11 counties
Yeah.
that has e-check because when the air goes from Stark County or from Summit County into Stark County, they're not breathing the same air. There's sort of like a force field because Stark
right.
County doesn't have e-check.
And there's no air
Neither does
circulation over.
Lake County doesn't. It's funny how that works. But I have to get e-check, then I have to pay my car registration, then I have to renew my driver's license, which is twice as much as everyone else's because I have a CDL.
Of course.
When was your birthday?
It's going to be Monday, not this coming Monday, but next Monday.
Oh, okay.
The 27th.
Okay.
Huh. That's interesting. We'll have something to celebrate.
Well,
it's going to be because next year will be my first anniversary of my 49th birthday.
Oh, so you're staying 49 from now on?
Yeah, I'm not going to be 50.
Yeah, that works.
Uh-huh.
I tried that once. I'm going on 20 years of 49.
Frank and I, our anniversary is the 28th. 15 years.
Holy crap.
Has anybody ever heard, you mentioned the Florida man. This is something different, but it has to do with Florida and man. So, have you ever heard of the Florida Man Challenge? It's bizarre stories. This was popular a few years back. It was bizarre stories found on social media done by people in Florida. Okay, let me find an example. Okay, well, I don't want to just leave dead air here. So, somebody please chime in.
All right. Well, I'm going to say I'd really like to welcome any new listeners tonight because I did see I got a like on a thing that Erik shared and I shared it. So, anybody out there that's new, welcome. Please think about coming back.
And please tell your friends.
And tell your friends, and maybe they'll tell their friends, and maybe they'll tell their friends. But
maybe we
usually always try to have a good time here, so.
Yep, there's always something different going on.
Oh, excuse me. And actually, Flora's been staying awake lately.
Wow.
How about that?
I think Ellie fell asleep. Ellie, are you asleep? I haven't seen you lately. I'll bet she is. Either that or got bored and turned us off, one of the two. What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got the HTML link you sent, Dale.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got that too.
Yeah. Anyway, let's, I guess we can wrap this up for tonight. We're looking at almost 2 hours anyway. Another 6 minutes for 2 hours. I suppose we can wrap it up. Not a whole lot going on tonight for some reason. And I think I want to put my feet up and relax away tonight. Do you drink wine, Flora?
I had one, yeah.
Seen the glass over there. I didn't see it before.
Yeah, it was at the beginning of the show I drank it.
You got any more coroner's questions we can wrap up on?
Let me see. If I only had a brain.
What would you do with a brain if you had one?
I had to. That was absolutely necessary.
I don't think I can answer this question, but I'm going to throw it out there. What sport will be invented next? We now have pickleball.
I mean, that's a cool sport.
What do you think? What sport's going to be the next big thing? I thought there for a while it was going to be pickleball, but I don't think so anymore.
I think axe throwing is growing right now.
Yeah, I know what the next one could be. X throwing. You take your X, pick her up by the.
Oh, now. No.
That sounds like abuse. Not
Human bubble ball.
That's a thing.
Human bubble ball, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok the other day that cracked me up. This white car was friggin' hauling butt down the street, and it ran into somebody that was in one of those human bubble balls, and that bubble ball went flying up in the air and landed in the middle of a tree.
Oh my.
Did the rider get hurt?
I don't know. I can imagine. I need one of those bubble balls.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's just what
I think
you
I'd
need.
have too much fun in it, though.
Yeah, you could make that a sport. Bubble ball kicking.
Our bubble ball, it's like soccer, but you're in a bubble ball.
Bubble ball jousting. Yeah, get on a horse.
The bubble ball bumper car.
That's a mouthful. So I found examples of that Florida Man challenge, and I sent Pat and Dale a link to, but I got North Florida Man beat. Actually, we'll go with this one. Hold on. Man. Oh, I lost it. Sorry. Never mind. Oh, man doesn't get straw and attacks. Florida Man attacks or doesn't get straw and attacks. McDonald's employee. I wish I would have kept the one involving. Oh, man arrested after argument over cheesecake or steak. I mean, steak, cake, whatever. Go ahead. Please. I'm trying to avoid dead air. I'm trying to find a funny one.
Gary came up with a sport, Flora. Yeah. Bubble ball basketball.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You see LeBron playing that? Yeah, all right.
Florida Man chews up police car back seat after cocaine buzz.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, ending on that note. But
that sounds like a good idea. So, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been fun. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you got educated a little bit. Never know. And we'll see y'all next week. We will have next up is Tuesday night with Erik's show, the Nanosecond podcast. He will have a guest of Dan Minigan. Thursday night we have Jerry coming up. I don't know what's going on in his show this week. We had a pretty cool guest last week, and it's going to be hard to top that one. Then we'll be back Sunday night with Radioactive. Never know, we may have a guest pop in or something. Till then, we will see you all next week. Everybody want to say good night? Don't everybody talk at once.
Good night.
Good
Buenas
night.
noches.
Good night.
I had myself muted,
Sleep
of
tight.
course.
Dale, give me a
Have
call
to do
when you
it
get
once
home.
in the show.
Give me a call when you get home, Dale.
Here's a wish.
I will.
All right.
And it gets...
Y'all have a good week. And we'll see you next week.
Later.
7-3,
Bye,
y'all.
everybody.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation of Radioactive by the Crooked River Radio Network. See you again soon.